Welcome to the Money Mindful podcast, where money mindset and life coach Meaghan Jean Smith, hey, that's me, teaches you how to transform your relationship to money and achieve your life goals so you can live a glorious, magnificent, delicious, awesome life and love being you. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Money Mindful podcast. I'm your host, Meaghan Jean Smith. So great to be with you. This week, I want to talk to you about the 3-step process to build an amazing relationship with money. Do you want to know how to build an amazing relationship with money? I hope so, because having an amazing relationship with money is the best. You know why? Because money can be really triggering for so many people, and it doesn't have to be that way. When we don't have a good relationship with money, it can have a really negative effect on our everyday life, right? So in this episode, I want to share 3 steps you can take to create an amazing relationship with money so that you can spend it, save it, invest it, and care for your money in alignment with you and your values and the way that you want to be with money. And one thing I just want to say straight up is think about your relationship with your partner, right? That is, if you have a partner, and if you're single, think about your relationship with a family member or a friend, someone close to you. Now, nobody gets to tell you how that relationship's going to be. That's your relationship, right? You get to choose how you want to be in that relationship and what kind of relationship you have. And I just want to share with you that it's the same with money. You know, when you learn about money, or if you follow people or listen to podcasts like this one, people say there's things that you should do with money, right? Like you should invest it this way, or you should run your business this way, or you should do such and such that way. But I want to offer to you that that's just a way, right? Some people have partnerships with people and they get married in a church. That's one way to do it. Some people get married in their own home or at a restaurant. Some people don't get married at all. Some people just have one person that they're in a relationship with. Other people have more than one person that they're in a relationship with. You get to do your relationships how you want to do them. Nobody else can tell you that. And I hope that really sinks in, because if you want to have an amazing relationship with money, it's about building the relationship that you want with money. And this is a powerful thing, and a little step that I think sometimes gets lost. Like as if we have to do money a certain way, like how some stale pale male told us that we have to have, this is how we're supposed to deal with money, right? So today I just want to give you an overview, like 3 steps what you can do to build an amazing relationship with money. So the first step is awareness. What's your current relationship with money? Now, most of us, unless you're like a total money nerd like me, don't sit around all day journaling and thinking about money, how we think about it, what we feel about it, right? You've probably never done that. So if you haven't done that, now's your opportunity to, because we can't change what we're unaware of. Many of our beliefs about money are completely transparent to us. We can't even see them. We don't even know that they're there, right? They're just there by default from our parents or our community or our ancestors, what generational beliefs and knowledge that's been passed down. So much of what we think, feel, believe about money is not even our own intentional thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. It's just what we've learnt from growing up in our environment. So awareness is the number one thing that you need to do first, and that's uncovering what your current beliefs are, right? It's uncovering what relationship you currently have with money. Maybe you are really strict and tight with money, or maybe you're totally, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you avoid money. You don't pay any attention to it. You don't even know how much money you make. Or maybe you're really fearful of money. Maybe money stresses you out, right? Maybe just the thought of doing your taxes or doing anything to do with money just feels totally overwhelming. Maybe you don't earn income yourself through your own channels in terms of creating it in a business or job that you're doing. Maybe your partner makes the money, right? And money comes to you through that avenue. And maybe you just are completely disassociated and detached from money, right? I have no idea what your relationship with money is. I'm giving you these examples to sort of get you starting to think about what's your current relationship with money like. That's your starting point. That's step number 1, awareness, right? And there's lots of exercises that I do with my clients to establish what their current relationship with money is and really creating awareness around that. Because once you're aware of what your relationship with money is, then we're in an empowered position to make change, right? So the next step is letting go or healing. Because once you start doing awareness work around money, you start realizing, something might come up for you that you realize that you don't feel like you deserve money. Or maybe you've discovered that you have all these beliefs about how rich people are terrible, awful, greedy, horrible people. And of course, you would never want to be like one of those people, right? Or maybe something comes up for you that when you were a kid that you got into trouble around money and it triggers something scary for you, right? So the next step is healing. Maybe you need to do some healing from some beliefs that you have around money or some experiences that you've had with money. Maybe you need to do some forgiveness work, right? Like forgiving someone in your life for how they've shown up with money, or maybe it's you need to forgive yourself for your own behavior around money, right? Maybe you've really neglected money and you want to do some work around that to forgive yourself for the way that you've shown up for money in the past. Okay, so I'm not going to go in depth into these kind of exercises that you do, but I just want to give you sort of the overview. So as well as healing and forgiveness work, it might be letting go, like literally physically letting go of things, like decluttering your environment, right? And also in terms of forgiveness, healing, and letting go, step 2, it's a letting go of the practices that you do that aren't serving you. So I did an episode recently on never saying I can't afford it again, right? Don't say that. So Lynn Twist said something once, which I absolutely love. She said, we're always practicing something and we get better at what we practice. So part of step 2, letting go, it's letting go of practicing things that you do around money that aren't serving you. Like stop practicing saying I don't have enough, or stop practicing saying I can't afford it, right? Stop practicing not saving any money if you don't save any money. Stop practicing the beliefs and behaviors that you do around money that aren't serving you. Okay, and then finally, the third step in creating an amazing relationship with money, once you've done awareness work and you've done your healing work, your letting go work, your forgiveness work, then it's creating an intentional commitment. Like, what do you want your relationship with money to be, right? What are you willing to commit to? What is your promise to money? How do you want to show up for money? Do you want to be somebody who's really organized with money? Do you want to be somebody who takes amazing care of their money? Do you want to be somebody who speaks about their money really respectfully? Right? It's your relationship. No one else can dictate what that looks like for you. Right? Do you want to be somebody who invests money for wealth creation? Or do you want to be somebody who just makes money via your own business? Right? That's the way that you want to bring in money into your life. Right? It's totally up to you to decide what kind of relationship with money you want to have. But the point is to be intentional about it, because I'm jumping to conclusions here, but I have a sneaking suspicion that I might be right. You probably don't have an intentional relationship with money right now. You've probably never actually taken the time to decide on purpose what kind of relationship you want to have with money. Right? Do you want to feel like you trust money? Do you want to feel like you always feel safe, whether you have, no matter how much money's in your bank account? Right? That you don't rely on money to feel safe. Do you want to have a relationship with money where you just always trust it to be there for you? Right? Do you want to have a relationship with money where you treat it really well? Totally up to you. And what that looks like is also totally up to you. But this is something that is important. And going back to that, what I mentioned at the start of the show, it's like being in a relationship with a person. Nobody can tell you what is right for you in your relationship. Can you imagine? I can't imagine if somebody started trying to tell me how I should be with my partner. That would be totally weird. And it's the same with money. You get to decide your own relationship, but the point is to decide on purpose and be intentional about it. And then start practicing and showing up as that person. So maybe you've had a less than perfect relationship with money. Maybe your relationship with money has been toxic. Maybe your relationship with money has been really neglectful and you want to change that. That's not necessarily going to change overnight. It may require practice. And I'm going to offer to you that it probably will require practice, right? Changing behaviors and learning something new does require practice. But the good news is we get good at what we practice. So when you set an intentional commitment to how you want to be with money and then you start taking action and practicing that, that's what you create. Right? That's why I'm so good with money and investments and things like that. It's just because I've practiced. It's just I decided I wanted to be somebody who had investments. And so then I learnt about it and became somebody who has investments and practiced being that person and practiced showing up that way for money. I don't want to oversimplify it, like that happened over time, but that really is what the steps are. It's just being intentional. What relationship do you want to have? And then start practicing that relationship and showing up as that person. So just in summary, the 3-step process to building an amazing relationship with money is number 1, awareness. Uncovering what your current beliefs are. What do you believe about money? How do you show up for money now? How do you behave with money? What do you do with the money that you have now? What is your current relationship with money? And when you work with me, I go over all of this with you in depth. We do lots of exercises on this to uncover that, right? Because the reason why you have the relationship with money that you have now, and maybe that you're not making the money that you want to make, is because your current relationship is transparent to you. You don't realize, right? It's hidden. Our money blocks and our money beliefs, we can't see it. And that's why working with a coach can be really helpful, to have somebody mirror that to you, right? And doing exercises to bring up your money beliefs so you can actually see them, what they are. Because often we just do things on default. We do it unintentionally. We've just grown up doing it that way, and we've never actually examined it or realized that that's how we're showing up with money, right? So that's step 1, awareness. Step 2 is a letting go, healing, forgiveness, right? It's what do you need to heal? Like, what do you need to let go of? What do you need to stop practicing? Behaviors that you have around money that are not serving you anymore. And then step 3 is intention, having an intentional commitment to the relationship that you want to have with money. What relationship do you intentionally want to create? And then it's going to work and doing that. Actually making a commitment, making a promise to money, how you're going to treat it, how you're going to show up for it. And then following through and being that person and doing that. And it's an ongoing cycle, right? Like I'm constantly creating new awareness around different areas with money. You know, I create that awareness and then I do some healing or letting go or forgiveness work. And then I set my intentions of how I want to be. It's just like we go round and round, right? Because we're always uncovering new money beliefs or money blocks that we have that we didn't realize that we were there. And then we just take it through this process. It's like we've got awareness of it. Then we can do the healing, forgiveness, let it go. And then we can be intentional about how we actually want to show up in our relationship with money. All right, I hope that's helped you today get some clarity on how you can change your relationship with money and how you can create an amazing relationship with money. I really encourage you to take this work deeper, because when you have an amazing relationship with money, it completely changes your life because you're not triggered by it, right? I mean, money is part of your everyday life, whether you like it or not. And creating an amazing relationship with money, an intentional relationship, is such a beautiful thing to do for yourself, because then you're at peace with money and you can make money freely without all the gunk that goes along with it, you know, without all the negative feelings. You can spend, save, invest, you can care for your money in alignment with you and your values and the person that you want to be. And you can do it really purposefully and intentionally. And it is so freeing. So if you would like to take this work deeper, I'd love to encourage you to reach out and book a consultation with me. I can help you create your money and life goals. And part of the work that we do together to create your money and life goals is actually working on your money mindset, right? So cleaning up any icky stuff that you've got around money mindset that's holding you back from achieving your money and life goals. And we do a bunch of other magical stuff too, which I talked to you about in the consultation. But if you've been thinking about working with me, I currently have openings. I would love to support you reach your money and life goals. You can find out more, and the first steps that we go through is by booking a consultation. You can do that on my website so we can get to know each other. I can hear what help and support that you need and find out if we're a really good fit. Alrighty, until you hear from me again next week, have an amazing week. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the Money Mindful podcast. For future episodes, be sure to subscribe. Ready to take the next steps? Creating your money and life goals can be super challenging if you don't have a process to follow. Get my free course that will help you get unstuck, clarify your goals, and get you going. For more info, go to meaghanjsmith.au.